John Fetterman is an android. And that takes me to this one right here. And let me read, and you'll get what I mean. Let me read it, what he tweets out, and then I'll explain what I mean. I reject statements from nations with atrocious human rights records, China, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. Without a doubt, this is an humanitarian tragedy. Hamas alone owns this calamity. We must demand Hamas free the hostage and surrender, ending suffering, death, and chaos. And that is John Fetterman quote tweeting this from CBS News. Several countries are condemning Israeli forces for firing on Palestinians waiting for the delivery of aid in Gaza on Thursday. So instead of addressing and critiquing Israel firing on Palestinians trying to get food, he chooses to go after the people who are giving an accurate analysis and says, we can't take your analysis, even if it's accurate, because you have some so-called human rights atrocities in your own country. And those human rights atrocities have been designated by the United States, the number one and top offender of human rights on the planet, the United States. But this seems to me, in the question I had when I read this, and this is how I saw it with this one, with the Vanguard. Because the Vanguard, who pushed John Fetterman during the primary during the election against Dr. Oz, the special election against Dr. Oz, have now turned on him because of his positioning with Israel. But the point I want to make before I go to what the Vanguard says is, John Fetterman, the reason I says he's an android is because I've never seen a politician whose point of view is so robotic like this. And it's robotic to the point, or robotic in a sense, it's very minimal coloring, minimal colorful words. It's just a very straight to the point, like a robot would do, like an android would do, with no emotion, talking about saying the CIA / US government establishment talking points. It is just bizarre to that point. It's just unhuman the way that he has decided to take up and spew all of these establishment talking points. But the Vanguard says, quote, I reject statements from nations with atrocious human rights records, end quote. My brother in Christ, you are a United States senator. I guess they're making the same point that I'm making here, that what are you talking about, human rights atrocities? And but let's continue, because Nina Turner also replies to this, and she says, are you excusing the killing of innocent civilians who were fired upon by the IDF? Is that what you are doing? Israeli troops fired upon these people. It says so in the tweet you're quoting here. Abhorrent. And it's to the point that I said he makes no reference to the actual issue. He's just calling out haters. And I don't know if it's the same. No, it looks like this is a different one. This is from Nina Turner also. And she says in this one, she's quote tweeting them this time, defending the slaughter of innocent people who were fired upon for running towards an aid truck. It was a slaughter. If these folks can't find empathy for starving people being killed, who will they find the empathy to fight for progressive policies for? And this is John Fetterman. You can't even find empathy for starving people being fired upon? But that's John Fetterman, the android John Fetterman. This is classic. That is absolutely spitting or very accurate depiction there. Now, my other headline, and I'm getting to it, is that he also trolls uncommitted voters from the uncommitted campaign. I'm going to get to in just a second here. Oh yeah, this is it right here. So let me click on it so it's smaller. Maybe I can make it smaller so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, let's make it smaller so you can see the whole thing. So if you don't understand, this is John Fetterman. This is him putting this Simpsons meme above this headline here. And let's click on the headline. This is from the HuffPost. And the headline says, Rashida Tlaib, who backed uncommitted primary vote, is incredibly scared of a second Trump term. So I guess he didn't read the article, because he's going off the headline when he puts this, because I guess he's saying, like, are you insane? Like, is this, are you stupid? That's the point he's trying to make here, because if you're doing uncommitted, is his point. If you're scared of Trump winning a second term, then why the fuck are you doing the uncommitted campaign, is the point that John Fetterman is trying to make. So John Fetterman is trolling the uncommitted campaign. And somebody, and let's go on some more here, because this is his tweet, and he continues, because it's sort of a thread. And then, wow, that's Nick, and I'll get to that in just a second. Watch this. He goes on to say, Trump is committed. In 2024, if you're not committed to Biden by default, vote blue no matter who, you're committing for Trump. And he puts up this headline, Trump vows to expand Muslim ban and bar Gaza refugees if he wins presidency. So just like Mike Figueroa said in his video, you either have a choice of genocide or genocide with a Muslim ban. Because that's what they're saying. That's when they go, look, at Trump was going to have a Muslim ban. So what is your point? My choice is genocide or genocide with a Muslim ban? And then somebody says this, Dark Jill Stein. Hey, John Fetterman, how is your marriage working out? I hear Giselle is dating a person of color in a hoodie. Are you going to pull a weapon on him like you did the jogger? And the person they use is Nick for the example. And I guess that's his wife. I thought that was somebody else. But that's his wife, and they're having issues. Though I don't need to dive into that part of it. But if John Fetterman actually reads this article, instead of just going off this headline, what Rashida Tlaib is saying is she's afraid of another Trump term if Joe Biden doesn't change his strategy in Palestine. That's what she's saying in the article. But obviously, you're just going off the headline and you think you are making a point because of that. But anyway, let's go to our next item on John Fetterman, and that's here. Nina Turner commenting on John Fetterman, calling out or trolling uncommitted campaign. And this is what she says here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Liberals are deploying the 2016 playbook of ostracizing and ignoring progressives. We are trying to warn you, not help Trump. And so she makes the point that I was just making, that I was assuming Rashida was making. But let's read this last tweet from Nina Turner. And it says, Voting uncommitted is a warning to this administration that Trump is going to win if Biden doesn't change course. But to go ahead, meme away, and ignore the warning, you won't be harmed by Trump term. She will. Check your privilege. Listen to marginalized groups. And that's her chiming in on John Fetterman. It sounds like she's been going at John Fetterman ever since he really hasn't face turned. He's always been this. Nick has been calling this out from day one, that this guy is not the guy.